Jai Sachidan, Rosie, Marcela, Gabi, Luz, Patricia, Evangelina. Jai Sachidan. Jai Sachidan. So, check something here. Lot of extra sounds coming from somewhere. Let me see where they're coming from. All right, now that's better. All right, so good, wonderful. So Rosie, okay. I still can't figure out where the extra sound is coming from, but we will find out. So Rosie,
Maybe if Rosie.
No, Rosie is muted. It's only you and I. So it has got to be one of us. And let me see. We'll find out, huh? All right, Rosie. Will you sing the Trimantra, please, Rosie?
¿Puedes cantar el Trimantra, Rosie, por favor?
Sí, señor. Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam. Eso panchanamukaro savapavapanasano mangalanan sasavesim padaman havai mangalam. Oh namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Oh namah shivaya. Jai Sachitanam. Namo Vitragai, Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vasayanam, Namo Loye Savasahunam. Eso panchanamukaro savapavapanasano mangalanan sasavesin padaman havai mangalam. Oh namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Oh namah shivaya. Jai Sachitanam. Namo Vitragai. Namo Arihantanam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayariyanam. Namo Vasayanam. Namo Loye Savasahunam. Eso panchanamukaro savapavapanasano mangalana sasavesin padaman havai mangalam. Oh namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Oh namah shivaya. Jai Sachitanam, Jai Sachitanam, Jai Sachitanam, Jai Sachitanam.
Jai Sachidanand. So, in this chaotic world of this time, this era of the time cycle, you see, where there is continuous noise and activity inside and outside, it is a miracle of all miracles that we are able to uh, see and offer the three mantra in one, with one chit, single pointed chit. Patricia, you're muted.
En esta era de tiempo tan caótica, donde hay tantos sonidos afuera y adentro, es un milagro que podamos ofrecer el trimantra con un solo chit.
Yeah, one chit means we are able to offer, to focus on this three mantra exclusively for the purpose of seeing the singer and knowing the words without any distractions whatsoever, you see.
Yes. Y un solo chit quiere decir es que somos capaces de poder ofrecer este trimantra y poder ver el que canta y poder conocer y ver cada una de las palabras.
This dhyan, this meditation that is natural of the self, as capital, actually begins by the 8th minute of this offering, you see. But we know that by the time the third mantra is sung, the third time the three mantra is sung, there is this magnificent awareness of the sound, the singer, the words, and the meaning associated with these words.
Yes. Este dhyan o meditación del ser, el ser con mayúscula, comienza con 8 minutos de ofrecerlo, pero en la tercera vez que se canta, lo magnífico de esto es poder ver al que canta, conocer las palabras y el significado de cada una de las palabras.
There is a very important word in our Dadashri's Akram Vignan terminology. And it is called Tarchod, and it is pronounced as Tar, T-U-R, Chod, Tarchod. Tarchod means a scornful kick, a scorn-filled counter-attack. Yes, very, very scorn-filled counter-attack. It may be physical, but most often it is subtle inside, and then it comes out in words. What do you mean? Leave me alone. Don't ever come here again. You see?
Yes.
Mhm.
Es muy importante en el mundo de nada y del Akram Vignan la terminología, ¿no? Y hay una palabra, tarchat,
No,
que es
chod,
tarcho,
do,
tarchoda, tarchoda,
tarchod, huh? Uh-huh.
tarchot,
Mhm.
eh, que, que significa como una patada desdeñosa que viene desde afuera, ¿no? Como no me molestes más, ¿qué es lo que estás haciendo? Y cosas así.
Tarchod,
Tarchot.
Tarchod. And it is on June the 18th, 1970, when Dada was in Mumbai, India. June 17th, 1970. 1970, Mumbai. Dadashri is talking about this Tarchod. It is a scornful kick, you see. It's usually it is actually through words, you see. It's very hurtful.
Yes. En junio 18 de 1970 en Bombay, Dadashri hablaba de este tarchot, que son estas patadas desdeñosas, ¿no? De estas palabras.
It's you see, it is excuse me, it is a very hurtful result through words, and it really hurts the other human being. It is the equivalent, in Argentina, the cattle people, the people who raise cattle, they take a very hot iron and they brand the cow or the ox with this iron, iron pole, which so that they can write the name of the owner on it, you see. And it burns the skin, you see. Just totally burns it is, it burns the skin and it is permanently marked, I am your owner, or this belongs to this ranch, etc.
Yes. Estas palabras son palabras dolorosas que lastiman a las otras personas, ¿no? Y aquí en Argentina se ve la gente que tiene ganado que marcan a las vacas con un hierro que está eh, a fuego vivo, ¿no? Y las queman, les queman la piel y le ponen la marca del dueño. Esto me pertenece. Y les queman la piel y la piel les queda quemada para siempre las vacas.
So their chord or such a scornful kick, yes, is injury is very, very dangerous, because the Shri says, if you give one terchot, I gave a physical example, of the cattle, but human beings do much worse to each other through words to each other. They live together, but they say just one thing like this, one sentence like this, and the mark of it is kind of carved in the heart of the other person, you see. It's 20 years ago you said that to me, you said this to me, I cannot forgive it, you see.
Yes. Dadashi dice que Tarchot, estas palabras, estas patadas desdeñosas que se dan son absolutamente peligrosas y que si tú das una de estas palabras, lastimas el corazón, queda marcado el corazón de la otra persona. Esto puede suceder también en el hogar y por ahí 20 años después va a decir, oh, vos me dijiste esto, y es por el dolor de la marca que quedó en su corazón.
Oh, and the other Shri says, do not kick or hurt anyone with such scornful in such a scornful way, because if you do, if you hurt any living being in this way, and then it will not allow you your liberation. That account, it will not, that particular, the Lord, this living being inside, you see, will bind with you, will tie you from inside and will not allow you to go to liberation, will not allow you to to get liberated. It will, if it will, this is a very dangerous file that has been created.
Yes. Yes. Por ejemplo, dice que si tú le pegas a una persona con palabras así tan dolorosas, de esta forma, si hieres a alguien, esto no te permitirá ir a la liberación, porque este archivo te atará y no te permitirá ir a la liberación. Es un archivo peligroso, va a estar girando alrededor tuyo.
Mm-hmm. This is a fundamental, subtle connection between this life and another, and a debt that is created, a debt account that has been created, that has to be resolved or paid off. If it is not paid off in this life, then you will have to pay it in the next life, you see.
Esta fundamental y sutil conexión que se hizo, si no la pagas en esta vida, la vas a tener que pagar en la próxima.
So Dada is just saying this, and then Dadashri goes on to say, whatever business you have done so far in life, you see, whatever business, and this is not business with money or buying or selling, this is the business of human interaction. You interact with another human being. If you are not careful, that interaction that is associated, business is called an interaction that is associated with attachment or aversion.
Yes. Y Dada dice que cualquier negociación en la vida, y que cuando dice negociación no se refiere solo a negocios, sino que habla de las interacciones humanas. Y esto está asociado con el apego y la aversión.
So Radhashi now says that whatever business you have done in life so far, you have done that business in the name of the Nami. That business, that interaction has been done in the name, that business has been done in the name of the name of the Nami. Nami means the one with a name, with a name, you see. So Marcella, Cynthia, Cecilia, you see. And that is, so whatever business you have done in this life, it is in the name of Cynthia or Gabi, that is how the business has been done, you see. You have never done business in the name of the Anami. So business is of two types, you see. Name related business, and another one is Anami. If you understand, Cecilia, Patricia?
Yeah, I think. I think. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Okay. So let's start with
No,
there
no.
is a okay. All right. So the
Dice que cualquier negociación que hayas hecho en interacción humana en el nombre de Nami, Nami quiere decir el nombre que llevamos, ¿no? Cecilia, Patricia, pero nunca hiciste una negociación en el nombre de Anami, que quiere decir sin nombre. Nami es el nombre y Anami es sin nombre, sería el alma pura.
yeah, right. So we are actually Nami plus Anami right now. You see, you are Carmen, but you are really Anami. Like Shuddha Anami. That's why I have adopted this name, Shuddha Anami. I'm the pure, nameless one. Anami means the pure, pura, the pure, nameless one. You see, nameless one. Shuddha Anami, that is the name that I have used for the web interactions of Dada, because this is so pure. I didn't want to bring my name as, Vinod Patel, because then they will say, oh, I know him. That's Dr. So and so. He's like this and he's like that. But when they see a nameless one on the web, then that aspect of the ego is not there, and there are only the pure words of Dada. You understand?
Yes.
Mhm.
Entonces tenemos estas dos palabras, ¿no? Nami, que es el nombre del ego, y Anami es sin nombre, es el ser puro sin nombre. Por eso Yuda eligió el Yuda Anami para relacionarse en la web, para que no traer su ego, porque si no la gente va a estar diciendo, oh, es esto o es lo otro. Pero al tener este nombre, Anami es desde el lugar más puro y las palabras de Dada.
So, if you do the business in the name of the Nami, if you do the business in the name of Gabi, then Dadashri is saying that business will be taken away when the name business in the name of the Nami, the name one with the name, the business in the name of Gabi will be taken away when there will be na means no name. You see, na means no name. So na nami na nami means funeral procession. You see. You see, this is interesting. Okay, there is a funeral procession. You see, the day there is your funeral procession, people are taking you to the funeral place. You see, taking this body to the funeral place. They say, oh, now this is the Nanami, the one who had the name, Professor so and so or President so and so is no more. Now this is his funeral. Now the name is being taken away. You see, nature takes away your name.
Ujú. Dice que si hace ese trabajo en nombre de Nami, va a llegar un momento donde va a ser no Nami. Entonces, y eso sucede en el proceso del funeral. Puede ser que esta persona haya sido un presidente, un profesor o cualquier cosa, pero cuando lo llevan a su proceso funeral, esa persona, ese nombre ya se fue.
So now he is an Anami. Whoever had a name, now he becomes, this is now he doesn't have a name, but he is, we want to do the business in the name of the Anami, the nameless one. So if you do the business in this world, Here is the final sentence of Dada. That if you do અનામીના નામ ઉપર વેપાર કર્યો હોત તો સાથે લઈ જવા દેત. You see? So this is Dadashri said, if you had done the business in the name of the Anami, you see, the Anami is the Pura, Amapura, you see. If you had done the business in the name of the eternal one, the one who is eternal, has many, many names and yet no name, right? He doesn't have a name, Anami. If you had done the business in the name of the Anami, then you would be able to take your earnings with you, you see. But how can you do the business in the name of the Anami if you do not know the Anami, the Amapura? Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Dada dice que va a ser que vas a poder, que si hacemos el trabajo en el nombre de Anami, en el nombre del alma pura, del eterno, sin nombre, serás capaz de llevarte las ganancias contigo. Pero ¿cómo vas a poder hacer esto si no conoces el alma pura?
Yeah, Anami is God. You see, if you had done the business in the name of the Lord, no, in the name of the Lord, with the Lord in mind, then you would be able to take it in the next life. You see,
Yes.
take the earnings in the next life. Does it become clear?
Yes, perfect. Queremos hacer el trabajo, a ver, si hacemos el trabajo, dice Dada, ¿no? que Nami es Dios. Entonces, si hacemos las cosas en el nombre, si hacemos el trabajo en el nombre de Dios, entonces sí vamos a ser capaces de poder llevar las ganancias a la próxima vida.
Nami. You see, whenever you put an A in front of anything, Nami is a relative name, you see. Relative name, and Anami is a real name, you see. Anami is a real name, you see. Real, nameless one, you see. And when you do the business in the. Sorry, go on.
Eh, Nami es el nombre en lo relativo y Anami es el nombre en lo real.
Yeah, so in the real, we do not have any name, do we? As the Amapura, we don't have any name, Yes, we are pure, So we say Shuddha Anami in the, so, if you want to give your last name as Carmen Anami, Gabi Anami. So then you see what happens is, that Gabi is the name for the world. The world can identify Gabi, no Gabi, but they do not, but but really inside I am pure. I am absolutely pure.
Dice que si queremos usar en el mundo Anami, ¿no? O sea, el primer nombre es Gaby Anami, entonces vas a estar mostrando que Gaby es en lo mundano, en lo relativo, pero sos Anami sin nombre y sos el ser puro.
Magnificent words that take hold, they now take hold within us, you see. These magnificent words now occupy a special place within us all, because now we understand all of this business is in the name of Cynthia, Cecilia, Rosie, and in Agna 4, in the flawless vision, the shop is being closed now, you see. We are closing the shop, you see. You know, whatever whatever goods and stock is there in this shop called Marcella, Cynthia, Patricia, allow it to leave and with this salutation, you see, with this recognition within the name of the nameless one. I am the nameless one, you see. I am pure soul. Soyama Pura. You see, Zen. And this other person who is either coming to take this goods, this interaction, is also a pure soul, you see. Now, no more rag dvesh, no more attachment or aversion.
Estas hermosas palabras que todos llevamos dentro están y podemos llevar en este nombre, ¿no? Y esto se refiere al Acna 4 y a la visión impecable. Y el negocio se ha cerrado. Cualquier mercadería que quede en el negocio de Marcela, de Patricia o de cualquiera, que queda ahí, ¿no? Con el reconocimiento del que no tiene nombre, sin nombre. Yo soy alma pura, y en esta saludación con las manos. Entonces el que viene, recordar que también es alma pura y viene a llevar las mercaderías o lo que se venda.
And then a couple of days later, on June 20th, Dadashri again in Mumbai said the following, just one sentence, but it is very beautiful. What he's saying is, what is this tape record saying? You see, we the awakened one, what is this taped, T-A-P-E-D, record speaking? What is this taped record speaking? We, means the awakened ones, are simply to know that, you see.
Yes. En junio 20, unos días después en Bombay, dice este tape record, este cassette, ¿no? Esta grabación. ¿Qué es lo que está diciendo esta grabación? Nosotros los despiertos lo sabemos. Nosotros en mayúscula, ¿no? Los despiertos lo sabemos.
Yeah. For the first time, like Dadashri is revealing in those days, between 1964 and 1970, he is revealing that a soul cannot speak. It is not in the nature of the soul to speak. Amapura cannot speak, you see. Amapura cannot speak.
En los años de 1964 hasta 1970, Dadashri reveló que el alma no puede hablar. Es su naturaleza que el alma no habla.
All right. So we welcome our dear Cynthia and also Gonzalo in this satsang. Jai Sachidanand. Yeah,
Le doy la
Jai
bienvenida a Cynthia y a Gonzalo a este satsang.
I see that of the ones who were in the Guru Purnima, Cynthia is here. So we will now give Cynthia a little space to tell you a few things about it, whatever comes. You have to recognize and realize, my dear Cynthia, that it is a taped record speaking, and you are supposed to just know what the record is playing. Okay, so try that. All right.
¿Qué dijo Patri? Jai Sachidanand, Yoga.
Cynthia, que en esto, ¿no? De poder ver que con tus propias palabras, si puedes ver que esto que sucede, que dicen, es solamente algo que está grabado, ¿no? Como si fuera un cassette grabado, una grabación. Sí, ahora que estuviste en el grupo, Vina, lo podés reconocer y que
Sí,
comentes lo que quieras.
lo que puedo comentar es que fue una experiencia inolvidable, que es verdad que es un antes y un después, que no es lo mismo estar escuchar los Zooms que estar ahí, vivir todo y verlos en persona, es como que todo se hace realidad. Y que ahora veo todo con otros ojos, desde los satsangs, desde, eh, bueno, a todos los veo, es otra mirada más profunda. Y que disfruté mucho el encuentro y que fue un honor estar con todos ahí y un placer enorme conocer ayuda, al que quiero especialmente.
Well, she said that it was an unforgettable experience, that there is a before and after to be in the presence of the nanny. Now she can see every different with another eyes, and it was an honor to be there, and especially to be with you.
Mhm. Yes, thank you, Vishuddhatma Bhagwan. Yes, thank you. Jai Sachidanand, it was good to have you there, and our limited team of Spanish Mahatmas who were there. Mhm. Give the names of all the Mahatmas who were there, dear Cynthia. Tell us who were there. Mhm.
Que fue hermoso estar con el grupo de habla hispana allá y que cuentes, por favor, el nombre de las personas que estuvieron en el grupo Urmina,
Bueno,
Cintia.
las que estuvieron más cerca a mí fueron Cristian de Chile, con Vilma, después Damián y Fabiana.
Mhm.
Y también Anila de Chile, que era mi compañera de cuarto, un amor.
Mhm. Yes.
She
Así
was
que lo disfruté, fue
very
un grupo muy, muy lindo. Pasamos por todas las emociones, todos estábamos, casi todos, pero fue intenso y como que nos unió mucho, creo.
Yes.
she said she was with Christian, Vilma, Damián, Fabiana, Anila. Anila was her roommate, and it was beautiful. It was a very nice group, and it was also a very deep experience.
Mhm.
And they are very close after this
Mhm.
Guru Purnima.
Yes. Close as Mahatmas, and then really close to Dada, our eternal one within, our Dada Bhagwan, and this entire, all the Gnanis, Niruma and Deepak Bhai, so that you're closer to them, that is the most important thing.
Como Mahatmas, es también la cercanía de estar frente a con Dada Bhagwan y con Niruma y con el Nani, ¿no?
Yes. Yes, Cynthia.
Sí.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you, my dear. Thank
Yes.
you. Jai Sachidanand.
I hope speak. I have to mejorar mi inglés for the next time.
Okay, good. Yes. This is how the desires of past life unfold in this life, you see.
Sí, es como los deseos de la vida pasada se van descubriendo en esta vida.
Yes, and we also now welcome our dear Yaya from Spain And of course, Carlos.
Jai Satchidana.
Jai Sachidanand. Jai
Jai
Sachidanand. Shuddhatma
Satchidana.
God. We missed you in Guru Purnima, but I know you were there in heart, Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Totally. Yeah, wonderful.
totally.
Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. I very briefly, I will connect with you after this satsang. So stay in this satsang a little bit after the satsang is over. Yeah. So I just want to speak with you a little bit.
Te pide que después de que termine el satsang te quedes conectada un ratito y ella que quiere hablar con vos.
Yes.
Okay, dear.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now we, with those amazing words, the business of the named one and the business of the real, and three lessons, you see. One, the scornful kick or torchwood, a very scornful kick through words. Number two, Nami Anami and its business. And number three, taped record. I mean, in these three words, Dada has given us a phenomenal increased awareness. Just words bring awareness, you see. Words bring awareness.
En esto hemos visto tres cosas maravillosas que nos dan un fenomenal conocimiento, ¿no? El de las palabras de agresión de Short, después de Nami, Anami y sus negocios, y después de el tape record, lo grabado, ¿no?
Yes. TAPED, tape the record. Of course, in Gujarati, Dada calls it a tape record, but maybe you understand. Then he clarifies that it was taped. I'm not speaking, you see, so it was taped.
Acá Dada aclara esto, si bien él lo dijo en Gujarati, también después lo aclara que taped, lo dice en pasado, como que esto fue algo ya grabado, esto está grabado, no es actual.
This is a magnificent science behind this word, taped record. Because if you just remember that whatever anyone is saying in this business of the relative world, business of the name, ultimately it is the business of the name, is it not? The hands are exchanging money, but the man says, I made money, or I lost money, or he cheated me, or I made a lot of profit. You see, these are all the businesses in the name only, you see.
Yes. Esta es una gran ciencia, lo del taped record, de lo grabado, y es en lo relativo, ¿no? En un negocio, es un negocio que tiene que ver con lo relativo. Yo hice dinero, tal persona me engañó, yo gané esto, y todo esto es relativo.
Okay, so then the business of the name one, the business that is conducted in the name of Gonzalo is in the name of the ego. I am Gonzalo. You see? And so the business in the name of the Nami, the nameless one, is now through 5 agnas. You see? This is it. Rather make it simple. Ego does the business from morning till the evening, and our business is to be in the 5 agnas, you see, in the 5 agnas of our loved one, our dearest one there, you know.
Yes. Los negocios en nombre de Gonzalo es en el nombre del ego. Y en el nombre del sin nombre, de lo real, es estar en las 5 agnas. Entonces el ego hace negocios desde la mañana hasta la noche y nosotros, con mayúscula, estamos en las 5 agnas.
Business in the name of the nameless one is through awareness, you see, through awareness, the new awareness. You don't have to do any business. The business of the one without the name is that he doesn't have to do anything. The one with the name does everything, and the one without the name does not do anything. That is the beauty of it. Yours and my business is to just continue to see what business is being done, what business is being done, and how it settles down. You see how it settles down.
Yes. El sin nombre es a través del nuevo conocimiento, ¿no? Y no tiene que hacer absolutamente nada. El que hace en nombre de, el que tiene nombre es el que hace todo. Y el sin nombre no tiene que hacer nada, solo ver qué negocios está haciendo y cómo lo resuelve.
Right? All right, so now we go to the, we go into the further details of what complicates the name business in the name of the one with the name, in the business in the name of Cecilia or Yaya, so, and that is through our flawless vision. So let us take about a 10-minute break, and then we return. Shall we do that?
Yes, ahora vamos a entrar en otro tema de la visión impecable y vamos a tomarnos primero un recreo de 10 minutos.
Right.
I write down the last time the next title of today begins with mistakes. Maybe I could not write.
Right. I know. I have it because it was.
Okay.
It was.
I write down only that.
What
Sorry.
happens? Yeah, right. What happens if the result does not spoil, or for equanimity in mistakes and in the results, and now what happens if the results do not spoil? You see. Anyway, I will share with you here in the chat in a minute. Okay. All right.
Okay. Let's go to break. Vamos a recreo. 10 minutos. Thank you, Shunda.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
So then, let me share this. We continue, shall we?
Yes, ready.
Okay, so it's the last on last on June the 29th we had the 35th session of the Flawless Vision, and so today July 16th we have the 36th session of this Flawless Vision of this wonderful Dadavarni of July 2010.
Patri, quiero hacer una
Sí,
pregunta, Chuda. ¿Puede ser, Chuda, a question?
Yes, question from Gabi.
No, no tiene nada que ver con ningún tema que hemos estado hablando, pero es una duda que me surgió de algo que dijo el Nani del Guru Purnima, que Nani comentó que en India hay muchos centros donde se reúnen los Mahatmas. Me gustaría preguntarle qué hacen los Mahatmas en los centros donde se reúnen. ¿Cuál es la importancia de estos centros?
Gabi heard in the Guru Purnima that in India there are a lot of centers where Mahatma gather, and she wants to know what they do and which is the importance of that centers.
The centers. This Mahatma is where there are more than about a few Mahatmas, like wherever there are. Mahatmas are in all the major places of this world, all cities of this world, many, practically, but where Mahatmas have the desire to get together and to progress further in the experience further, so that the experiences of the self arise, the satsang. Those Mahatmas can, they through their inner drive gather together, and they create, they meet regularly, and and their meetings are associated with a standard format where they they do certain aspects of the Charanvidi, then they read a little bit of Dada, then they sing a Simdya Jekar, and then they watch videos of either Niruma, Dada, or our current Gnani. And this is within about a 2-hour period or so, and then then they share a meal or some simple prasad or food, a little bit, and then they go home and get to know each other that way, you see, and they are in contact. They're in contact with the center, which is our Simandar city, you see. And then periodically they get special CDs from India to the center, Satsang Center coordinator, which is mailed to that coordinator. And they all share this beautiful satsang highlights, and if they gather together regularly, then the Gnani comes in and sometimes gives them darshan on Zoom, and so these are satsang centers, you see. And so there are almost 36 such centers where all over India, which is a very huge country with so many people, they're spread out all over India. There are these 36 official centers. There are so many other unofficial gatherings, but they tried to. Now Zoom has made it convenient for everybody to join, you see. So when the Gnani is not there, then they continue satsang like this.
Ujú.
Mhm.
Dice que algunos Mahatmas, bueno, alrededor de todo el mundo hay muchos centros de Mahatmas donde se juntan para progresar en el ser y están en satsang, ¿no? Y al juntarse leen el Charanvidi, leen a Dada, cantan Dada Bhagwan, ven videos durante 2 horas y después comparten una comida. Y así se conocen y están en contacto con Simandar City. Y a veces también reciben videos, los satsang, los highlights satsang, y a veces Dada entra en su Madar Darshan. Hay alrededor de 36 centros en India, hay con muchísimos Mahatmas, y, y todo es para el progreso del ser.
And they're in that they do try to do uh, 4 things. You see, like Vidhi is, the Charan Vidhi, they read Charan Vidhis, different parts, and then different person in the satsang reads the Vidhi, Charan Vidhi part. Machan means reading Dadavani or Aptavani, Mhm. and and they take turns reading that, and then there is Pratikraman. They they do a little bit of Pratikraman, gather together and say, let's, Pratikraman and then Samayik, so sometimes both are together, after watching a video or something, or, our Gnani has spoken so much about so many different topics on what to seem in Samayik, so they listen to that end part of the satsang where the Gnani talks about Samayik, and they'll put on that tiny little video, 5 to 7 minutes of what to see in Samayik. Then everybody closes their eyes. They do a little Samayik, how much time, whatever time is allowed, that's it. Or if they don't have time, they may go home and do that Samayik, but, then they just share a meal or, wherever they've gathered, everybody gets. If the hostess cannot cook all the meals, then of course the Mahatma ladies or whoever they are, they help each other and they prepare a simple meal. It's not or this simple snacks, and then they have that and they go home, and that is considered a satsang center. And then because of the experiences that of the Mahatmas by of attending such satsangs, they like to come there again and again, and this is how they prepare for the major events that may happen in their area. If there are many Mahatmas, then the Gnani may have a uh, major satsang shibir there, But so far these have been confined to same in the city and in Bombay, or the Gnani has not had, and maybe apart from a few cities outside Gujarat, the Gnani has not had any large satsang shibirs. Of course, when he goes there, in 2 to 3 day time, in a 2 to 3 day time, it turns into a shibir. You see, a retreat. So it's the same
Yes.
format, and then of course there is this associated with all of this is the seva. You see, so the lady who prepares the meal, the men who help clean up in the satsang area, etc. That all becomes a part of the teamwork.
Yes. Eh, bueno, cuando se juntan, hacen Vidi, leen en Charan Vidi, algunos leen partes de Dadavani, de Aptavani, después hacen Praktikraman y Samaik, algunos toman juntos la guía que da el Gnani para hacer el Samaik y hacen Samaik por determinado, cerran los ojos y hacen Samaik por el tiempo que desean, luego comparten una comida que preparan o llevan y luego de esto cada uno se va a su casa.
Yeah.
Por estas experiencias es que vuelven y vuelven nuevamente, y muchos de estos Mahatmas tienen grandes satsang y shivirs, ¿no? En lugares como Bombay y otro más que no me acuerdo. Y por ahí también el Gnani hace visitas a estos centros por 2 días, que no como un shivir, sino solamente 2 días. Y así la gente también hace seva, ¿no? La gente que prepara la comida, la gente que limpia el lugar antes y después de que se hizo. Y de esta forma están juntos.
Not only that, and furthermore, while doing all of these things, if anybody has any questions, these most of them becomes apparent in the reading of Dada. But if they still have any questions, then they write them down, or they send an email, or say, send it to the Gnani, and then he will answer those questions, whenever he is on Zoom. So this is the format for satsang all over the world, you see. Yes, and it has worked very well for all the different centers, you see.
Yes. Por ejemplo, cuando se reúnen a tener satsang, nadie hace preguntas, ¿no? En las lecturas o lo que estén haciendo. Las preguntas las anotan y después se las envían al Gnani, y el Gnani las responde en satsang. Estos satsang alrededor del mundo funcionan muy bien. Estos centros, ¿no? En el mundo funcionan muy bien.
Yeah.
¿Puedo hacer
Okay.
una pregunta, Yuda?
Yes, Luz.
Patri, la pregunta es, ¿qué diferencia hay entre un centro y un trimandir? ¿Quién determina, es el Gnani el que determina si se hace un trimandir en tal lugar o no? ¿Se necesita como una autorización? ¿Cuál es esa diferencia?
Lucy's question is, which is the difference between a center and a trimandir? Who has to allow that this is a trimandir? It is the Gnani. Which is the difference? What it has to
I don't
happen
know.
to?
Satsang in the Trimandir versus satsang outside Trimandir, is that what the question is?
No. We have a center here in Argentina, right? And which is the difference between having a center and a trimandir?
And having a Trimandir in Argentina
And
is...
yes.
No.
Tener un trimandir,
Si
¿no?
el Gnani tiene que autorizar, si es el Gnani el que
The
autoriza.
Gnani has to say okay to have a trimandir here in Argentina, for example.
No es la pregunta.
No es la pregunta.
What is? I'm not quite. Please, I'm not clear. I'm not clear about the question of Luz. What is she? What is the question?
A ver,
La
explícame.
diferencia, o sea, por lo que entendemos, los trimandir siempre están dentro de India. Es lo que entiende Luz. Ahora, ¿cuál es la diferencia entre un centro y un trimandir? No en la Argentina, en general.
In general.
She wants to, in general, which is the difference between a center and a trimandir?
Trimandir is a Trimandir. It's actually a temple. It is a joint temple. That people who have not know Dada, have not come to know Dada. First of all, they're all of the different religions, you see. They come together and worship there, and in the process, then they maybe come to know about, why are these three religions together present here? In fact, what is the real, so by coming to a Trimandir, a joint mandir, joint temple of Shiva, Krishna, Simandar Swami, etc. You see, by coming to such a temple, different people who have separated from each other and gone away into my religion and mine is better, all the ego-based religions, they come together and they really get introduced first time to the Gnani Purush Dadashri and his magnificent science of uh, ideal interactions in this world, good interactions in this world with each other, and that is called religion, relative religion, and some of them attain Gnanvidhi or the real religion. You see, so Trimandir is a physical structure which allows hundreds of thousands or thousands, starting with 100,000, then 10,000, 20,000, millions of people will come and get to know Dada. That is the reason why you have a Trimandir, you see. If a Trimandir is in some remote part of Argentina, near a forest or a very nice place, what is the point? Only so many people or tourists will come, you see. Whereas if it is in a big city on a major highway, where a lot of people can come, maybe have a little meal so that they can, freshly prepared with good intentions of the people who are serving the Trimandir, pick up some books of Dada or, see some videos of Dada, then it makes a difference, you see. So the reason for a Trimandir is not for Mahatmas, it is for other people to come to know this magnificent science, easy science of liberation, you see.
Yes. Yes. La gran diferencia, ¿no? Es de un trimandir es que la gente pueda venir y porque cada uno está con su religión y es la religión del ego, ¿no? Yo voy a mi religión, yo voy a mi iglesia, esto es lo que sirve. Y cuando entran en un trimandir y ven que hay tres religiones juntas, la de Shiva, Krishna, Simandar, entonces todos vienen juntos y pueden llegar a conocer a Dadashi y su magnífico conocimiento. Y así salir de las religiones relativas. En los Tilmandires pueden ir de 10.000, 20.000 personas y llegar a conocer a Dada. Puede haber un hermoso Tilmandir en algún lugar lejano o hermoso y la gente puede acercarse y comer, ver libros, ver videos y ver la buena voluntad de las personas que están ahí haciendo seva, ¿no? Y todo esto les va a permitir conocer esta ciencia maravillosa de la liberación.
And if whenever there is a Trimandir in, say, Argentina, then in addition to these murtis, there will be a temple there inside only, or adjacent to it, a little mandir for Lord Christ too, you see. So where inside there is Lord Christ also, you see. Because in our science, there is no difference between these relative religions with reference to the view of the worshipper. The worshipper, if he believes in Christ, his belief is 100% correct. If he believes in Allah, that his belief is 100% correct. We are not to disturb that. We are showing them the whole idea, the whole focus is that they get to know Dada. You see, they get to know his science of liberation or his science of peace in this world. You see, true peace in this world.
Cuando haya un Trimandir en Argentina, por supuesto que van a estar los murtis de Dada, de Simandar, y también va a haber adentro un murti del Lord Cristo. Y no hay ninguna diferencia entre Cristo, no hay ninguna diferencia con Alá. Y esto es lo que mostramos, porque en realidad no hay diferencia. Y es solo para que vengan a conocer esta maravillosa ciencia de liberación y de paz en este mundo.
You see, the liberated one, like you and I, can see the differences in the teachings of these relative religions, you see. Religions, the founders of these original religions, you see. I shouldn't say original, major religions of this world. But that is from a relative viewpoint, from the real, the Lord, Eternal One, the Paramatma, the Beautiful One, exists within all worshippers, and all who come in that temple, you see. And so that is the difference, you see.
Bueno, los que estamos liberados, como tú y yo, podemos ver las enseñanzas de las religiones en el mundo relativo. Y aquí con Dada, en este camino de Dada, el Lord existe en todo el que venga al templo.
The antarai, or the obstructions, do not exist within Lord Simandar, Lord Mahavir, Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva, or Lord Christ. In the heart of these lords, they say, blessed are the ones who are meek and humble, for they shall enter the kingdom of the Lord. You see, so the ones whose egos have been sublimated, they get to enter the kingdom of the Lord. You see, not, how can you cannot worship any other God except me? Now that's a problem, you see.
Las obstrucciones para Lord Simandar, Mahavir, Krishna, Cristo, todos dicen, ¿no?, que en sus corazones las bendiciones para poder entrar al reino de Dios hay que disolver el ego. ¿Cómo vas a entrar al reino de Dios con ego diciendo, oh, yo soy tal cosa o tal otra? Es disolver el ego y entrar al reino de Dios.
And so ours is the bhavana, ours is the bhavana of 9 columns only, you see. Our intentions are only the 9 columns, you see. Our job is not to build 3 mandirs. If some Trimandir is being anywhere in this world, there is a reason for it. And we know that it will help hundreds of thousands of people. Mainly because by entering such a building, they will get to know Dada, you see. You understand? And that is, so we say yes, all energies to this. But it will be glorious when someday even the Murti of Lord Jesus is being placed in a Trimandir, Okay? But
nuestras intenciones tienen que estar absolutamente en los 9 kalams. No es para construir un trimandir. Sabemos que los trimandirs ayudan porque los llevan a Dada, al conocimiento de Dada. Y sí, todas las energías maravillosas para que todo esto suceda.
Mm.
Y también van a establecer un murti de Cristo, de Jesús.
You know, the construction of a Trimandir and everything that is associated with it before and after the pran pratishtha or the life installation ceremony inside an idol, you know, by a Gnani is an effect, you know, for all of us. It's a result, the causes of which have been laid in previous life, and you know, someday a Trimandir will arise outside India with this exact understanding. You see, when the understanding arises not in the Indians living outside, but when this understanding arises in the local people, whether they are North Americans or South Americans or Europeans, you see, or Australians or whatever, you know, in other words, the local people, a significant number of them would want to say, no, this is beautiful. No, you know, this makes absolute sense, you see. So then it will happen, you see. A few people gathering together, building a physical structure is not going to take care of the problem, you see.
La construcción de un trimandir antes y después, siempre va a haber un ídolo que va a poner el Gnani, y eso es el efecto de una causa de la vida pasada. Entonces, cuando el entendimiento correcto surja, cuando el entendimiento surja fuera de India, entonces van a haber trimandir. Y muchos dirán que esto es hermoso y realmente hace una gran diferencia. Entonces van a estar como las intenciones todas puestas para que esto suceda.
Because there has to be a reason, dear Luz, there has to be a reason for a person in Germany, average person who is not received the Gnan Vidhi, does not know about the Dada, or whether he is in Spain or he is in Argentina or Chile or wherever, you know, there has to be a reason for that person to enter that mandir, Sri Mandir, and if the Murti of the Lord is in there, Lord Jesus Christ, then he is more likely to enter that beautiful quad mandir, or if you can call it quad mandir, you know, Tri Mandir, Kwa Mandir, you know, it doesn't really matter, Tri Mandir, you know. No, name is not important.
Tiene que haber una razón muy importante para entrar al Trimandir, y el Murti del Lord, Jesús, Cristo, está presente. Eso sería maravilloso. Y entonces ya dejaría de llamarse por ahí un Trimandir. Si bien no es lo importante, sería un cuadramandir, algo así. Pero tiene que haber una razón para que las personas quieran entrar.
Not only that, just as we have in the Lord Krishna Mandir, you have the three major Krishnas there in front of you, and then there are some baby Krishna, etc. So in the same way, we can have the Christ, Lord Christ in the middle, and then Maria, and you know, whatever you want to put next, you know, all the holy murtis, they are all murtis, they are all idols, you know, they are all images. But the darshan is an internal thing, you see, my Lord. May all attain this beautiful peace in the relative and bliss in the real, you know?
Yes. Tener por ejemplo, en el templo de Krishna, en el Krishna Mandir, está el Lord Krishna. Y si se construye uno fuera, se puede poner a Cristo o a María y todas las imágenes. Y son murtis. Pero lo más importante es el darshan, que todas las personas puedan ir y conectarse con la paz de lo real y la dicha en lo relativo.
The most magnificent murti of the Lord Christ, his face, his eyes, have to connect with the person who has come to do the darshan, but along with it, representative divisions of Christianity, different ones can be placed there, along with some famous saints, who have beautiful, who are absolutely magnificent saints, So this becomes a part of the Three Mandir. This is what is going to attract the local people, the local Americans or South Americans or Europeans into those temples. Otherwise, you and I know the answer,
Yes. El Murketi de Cristo tiene que conectar con las personas y hay muchísimos santos que son hermosos, y así es como que se atrae a las personas en la forma, en los lugares locales.
Even the Christians have to stop fighting amongst themselves before they can attain real religion, Just like the Jains have to stop fighting among themselves, there are so many divisions in India about all of these major religions of India, so many divisions, all ego based, you see. There are so many versions of the Gita and interpretation of the Gita. It's nonsense. It's zero sense. It doesn't make any sense because it does not connect with the heart. The real intent in the heart of the Lord Krishna, you see.
Yes. Primero dice que los cristianos deberían dejar de pelearse, no solamente los cristianos, los jainistas, en todas las religiones. Hay tantas diferencias y estas diferencias son como el ego. Y también hay diferencias en diferentes interpretaciones del Gita, cuando en realidad es sentir en el corazón a Cristo, a Krishna, recibir el conocimiento en el corazón.
Okay, my dear Luz, you have to say, is there anything else you want to say? I mean, these are Shuddha's vision, this is not, Dada was never asked about a Three Mandir in other countries, you know what I mean?
Esta es la visión de Shuddha. A Dada nunca le preguntaron de hacer un trimandir en otro lugar. ¿Esto explica tu pregunta, Luz?
Sí.
Mm-hmm.
Mi pregunta fue más allá de mi pregunta y Luz está muy agradecida.
She's very grateful because you not only answer her question, you go beyond the question.
Yeah, my dear, I will share with you something about, Niruma and Shuddha talking about the Three Mandir. And I said, just like, in the usual talks, like sitting with Niroma, I said, Niroma, someday perhaps we will have a three mandir in South Florida, like between Miami to West Palm Beach, all of that is called South Florida, in this area. And Niruma replied, she was not very, and she said, Trimandir has to be, and likewise many Mahatmas in USA has, there should be a Trimandir here in this area. We have land, let's go take a look at this land, And there was also a gentleman, a very rich man, who came to Shuddha's home in Kansas, where, he had 4 acres of land behind his home in the small city, and that rich man who had just received the Gnan Vidhi of Niruma, he was from Mumbai, and he says, let's build a Simandar Swami temple here. He was a Jain, so he didn't say Trimandir. He said, let's build a Simandar Swami temple here. It'll be so beautiful. Let's build it. You don't worry about it. I'll get it built, And I shared this with Niruma. Niruma says, who is going to come here in the middle of the country, where it's so thinly populated, The mandir has to be in a place where a lot of people have access to it, A lot of people get to do the darshan from outside, and then they will be drawn inside. They'll say, what's inside? I want so magnificent. Let's go inside, So that's, that is her vision,
Yes. Ayuda acá está compartiendo una charla que tuvo con Iruma, ¿no? Y Ayuda decía, era sobre construir un trimandir en el sur de Florida. Y había un montón de Mahatmas que tenían tierras, que querían construir. Y Niruma, también un hombre que había recibido, un hombre muy rico que había recibido el Nandiri de Niruma, tenía 4 hectáreas en su casa, en la parte de atrás, y quería construir y traer un simandar, y estaba muy feliz con esa intención. Entonces Niruma dice, ¿y quién vendrá aquí que no es un lugar muy accesible? Un trimandir tiene que estar en un lugar que sea accesible, que pueda ser visto desde afuera, y cuando es visto desde afuera, es como que las personas son absorbidas adentro del trimandir.
Yeah, but otherwise all these magnificent structures that are built, you see, whether it is a famous church or cathedral, or temples, if you notice, mostly the worshippers who believe in that go there, you see. Nobody is interested in the science behind the worship. What am I worshipping? Why am I worshipping? You see? Who am I worshipping and why am I worshipping? Yeah. We worship the ones who are gone. We don't ever worship a living one, We don't. That's because we haven't found such a living one, After he's dead and gone hundreds and thousands of years ago, we say, wow, so magnificent, so magnificent. How does that help us?
Yes. Hay magníficas construcciones, ¿no? de catedrales, iglesias y templos, pero las personas no están por ahí interesadas porque estos lords ya vivieron hace miles de años y no están interesados como en trabajar o servir a estos lores. Ahora encontramos un lord viviente a quien conocer y a quien rendirnos a él.
But by the same token, my dear Luz, and all of our friends here in Argentina and Spanish world, the energies of a huge big tree exists in a seed, tiny little seed. Is the beginning of a huge tree, like the giant trees that we see in this world, 100, 200, 300 feet tall, 10, 20, 30 feet wide, trunks, All that energy existed in a seed, And here with this satsang, we are all have the seed that may there be a Trimandir of the Vitrag Lord, absolutely Vitrag Lord, in every part of the world, in everywhere in the world, so that because this Vitrag Lord is living, you see, this Lord is alive, and it is his energies that exist within each one of us, which makes us come to this satsang and really place more seeds through exact scientific approach of knowledge, you see, which is 9 kalams, vidis, etc. You see, this is the exact path of liberation. And if you don't want liberation, at least now that you have come here, you learn about life without conflict, Conflict with your wife, with your child, with your daughter, with your son-in-law, with your mother-in-law. What's going on? Don't talk about religion if you have got conflicts in your heart, Religion does not exist there,
Yes. Acá en Argentina, en todo el mundo de habla hispana, las energías enormes, hay enormes energías y todas esas enormes energías están contenidas en una pequeña semilla. Esta pequeña semilla es la semilla de un gran árbol, de un árbol inmenso, alto, grueso. Y aquí en Satsang todos tenemos la semilla del Lord Vitarag, que en cada parte del mundo está el Lord vivo, y él y sus energías que están también en nosotros, y nosotros con nuestras intenciones en los 9 kalams, en este camino de liberación. Y si por ahí en esta vida no encontramos la liberación, aprenderemos a vivir sin conflictos con la familia, con los hijos, con los padres, con todos. Y no hay una religión, no existe una religión verdadera si no es desde el corazón, con amor.
It is correct from their viewpoint, That's what Dada teaches us. And our speech also is such that we do not disturb the foundation or the beliefs of any religion, But for millions of years, from thousands of years, we, the human beings, have destroyed the temple of the other and the belief of the other, mine and yours, mine, yours, mine, yours, you see. And until this stops at the seed level, which is given in the 9 columns, it does not proceed anywhere, It does not, the seed level is at the 9 columns. You see, the acceptance of all viewpoints and all religions and all religious teachers and all human beings' viewpoints, you see.
Yes. Yes. Dada nos enseñó a no molestar a las otras personas diciendo palabras que afecten sus religiones, sus creencias, ¿no? Mis creencias, tus creencias, y hasta que no terminemos con esto, ¿no? A nivel semilla, ¿no? Que hasta que no se termine y se disuelva a través de los 9 calams, aceptar todas las religiones y todos los puntos de vista.
And you and I can see this development, the rise, the beliefs rising.
Vemos como todas estas creencias van evolucionando en nosotros, como van creciendo.
Okay. All right. So, does anybody want to say anything along these lines about it? Does anyone want to say something about this?
¿Alguien más quiere decir algo sobre esto?
Yeah. Okay. So good. All right. So now let us go to our flawless vision. We got a few, we have time to do that.
Ahora vamos a Flawless Vision, no queda un poquito de tiempo, pero vamos.
Yeah, we have Damian too here. So, and if you want, Damian, if you want to share, because you were there with the group Purnima, if you want to share it, some of your experiences at the Guru Purnima, that'll be nice. We had Cynthia do the same thing a while ago, so, Damian is frozen, Patricia.
I can see it from here. También.
Acabamos de llegar ayer de Guru. Ok.
Si querés compartir algo de tu experiencia del Grupo Mina.
Cambié de lugar. Thank you, Shura. Yes, we just arrived yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Fue una experiencia buenísima. Había como 3.000 Mahatmas. Sentimos una energía enorme. Fue fantástico. Primero tuvimos el Shivir de los westerns, donde tuvimos la oportunidad de estar muy cerca del Gnani, hicimos un darshan, y después el más grande, donde el Gnani estaba un poco más lejos, pero la energía de los Mahatmas y la onda que había era espectacular. Así que disfrutamos mucho, y ahora we are ready to receive a Shirish en October, y bueno, vamos a planear todo eso. Estuvo muy bueno.
Wonderful. See, so the evidences of satsang continue and the grace of the Gnani continues, So wonderful. Thank you. All right, so let us go now to the... sorry, you want to say that in English or, it's already...
Dice, ¿querés decirlo en inglés? Lo que dijiste es...
can share something.
Yes, ella ya compartió antes. Ya compartió antes. Sí, ahora por eso estábamos esperándote a vos para escuchar tu experiencia. Si querés decirlo en inglés, lo que dijiste. Sí.
We had the opportunity to be very close to the Gnani, in the first year especially. We had an amazing experience over there. And in the second, in the Guru Purnima, the amazing thing it was the energy that there were among all the Mahatmas, all the Indian Mahatmas and the Germans, the Spanish, the new Mahatmas. We meet a lot of people, and we share all the energy that the Gnani spreads all the time. And we talk about surrender to the Gnani, which was deepening even more our knowledge about that. So we brought from there a murti of 25 inches that we're going to put. We Mahatma have the firm intention to rent some space and put the murti over there and begin to do things more together, all together. So
Yeah, I think that's the
what
start.
happens.
Yes, and then the Lord comes. When the Lord comes, then then the Lord takes over. You see, when the Lord comes in a public place that is shared publicly, then there is more sharing. You see, so it begins. The science of the Lord begins in the home. So and the final original home is in the heart of the Mahatma, and then it goes into the physical home of the Mahatma, and then of course we have been talking about a more public place where Mahatmas or other worshippers are free to come, where along with the Lord his science is available in print in your own language. So that is how it begins, you see. And then there is a commitment of the people who to look after this Lord who has now been established, you see, as a center. You see. But
Yes.
the Murti doesn't speak. There has to be the voice. There has to be the interaction. So there are Mahatma representatives who speak about not only the Lord only, but also share the books of Akram Vignan, and then they walk away, you see, with something more than just the darshan of the murti, you see, just the darshan of the murti. So this is the science, you see, and it will work very beautifully because you have a wonderful solid group in Argentina now. In the Spanish world, it has begun very seriously and on a solid footing with a precise understanding of how this operates, you see, without any kashais, without any minus in this or I-ness in this,
Yes. Dice que Damián comenta que compró un murti muy grande y que está pensando, bueno, en alquilar algún lugar para algún lugar para compartir, ¿no? Entonces Sudha dice que cuando el Lord viene, el Lord se encarga y hay más para compartir. Primero que nada está el Lord en el corazón del Mahatma, luego está en su hogar y ahora en un lugar más público. Está la ciencia y están todos los libros, está la ciencia impresa en español, en nuestro propio idioma, así que la gente puede acercarse a este centro, puede hacer el darshan, no va, el murti no habla, es la interacción de las personas, de compartir los libros, podemos hacer el darshan de Swami y son las intenciones sin kashais, sin yo ni mío.
It will happen. The bhavnas, begin with the seed, and with this is now the moment in the direction of Jagat Kalyan, So, it'll be wonderful if it gets established in Argentina as the first public place, you see. So it'll be amazing, the Lord, and all our prayers are definitely there for this, Everybody says, may the Lord take hold. May the Lord take hold,
Patri, estás en silencio.
Petri, you are muted. Patricia, you are muted. You're still muted. Patricia, you're still muted. Okay,
No,
good.
me puedo ir. esta es la semilla y el momento para Yagat Kalyan. Y en Argentina, que suceda en Argentina, todos rezamos para que el Lord se haga cargo y esté presente.
Yes, wonderful. Vishuddhatma Bhagavan, all energies to you and your team and all of you for this to happen. And it is a wonderful start. It started with the intentions and it will proceed further due to the grace of the Gnani and the Lord, you see. Okay.
Bueno, esto es hermoso que esté pasando, así que están todos rezando para que recibamos la gracia del Lord.
Yes, it will, this, it's, Akram is magnificent because there is no method. There is no method. Either the Lord comes first or the Tri Mandir then arises, you see. Dadashri had this magnificent vision, you see, with the first Tri Mandir, in Surat, you see, because and his reasons he has given very beautifully in the book on Lord Simandar, and he has often talked about it, but this is how it happened, you see. So you see it growing, you see it growing everywhere, and this happens. So the Lord comes first, and then the Tri Mandir or the Quad Mandir will come, because the intent behind a public placement, the intent behind a public placement, public space placement is very different, you see, as opposed to placing the Lord in your own personal Akram Vignan centers, local Akram Vignan centers, The intent is much more magnificent for the public. May the public also come, you see. May the people of the world have free access to it. So obviously it has to have much more open, wider doors, and I'm not talking about a physical doors here, you see.
Cuando viene el Lord, después viene el Trimandir, y Dada tiene esta magnífica visión, ¿no? De haber hecho el Trimandir en Sudara, y habla de habla de eso, ¿no? Y lo ves creciendo en todos los lugares del mundo. Y la intención de que esto se haga público, ¿no? Es la intención de la Akram Vignan, de los centros, que se haga público, que las personas puedan llegar y que puedan conocer a Dada y la ciencia de la
And I don't know whether you were here when we were talking about Lord Christ to be incorporated in the three mandirs outside India, you see. But Dadashri had this vision, you see, in some of his words that he has shared, and there is one sentence he said, which I shared, I think, with one of you, either you or the Portuguese or the Germans. He has said, I was the Christ before Jesus Christ, you see. He said that, you see. The exact sentence I'll give you later on, but it's the same one, you see, in different forms, you see. The Gnani has no conflict with how real peace and bliss arises within a human being, you see. No conflict and no personal interests, you see.
Yes. El Gnani Dadashri dijo, primero que nada, es como que va a haber un Lord Cristo en el Trimandir en India. Y Dada dijo, hay una frase de él, una oración, que él dijo, yo fui Cristo antes de Cristo. Y él no tenía absolutamente ningún conflicto. Es vivir en paz y sin conflictos y sin intereses personales.
This Trimandir outside India, I'm not talking about Trimandir inside India, but Trimandir outside India. India has relatively very little population of Christians, you see. But in the Christian world, something has to attract let's attract the Western people into a home of worship, which is not associated with any kind of divisiveness. You see, any kind of mine or yours. You see.
Yes. Un Trimandir en India, fuera de India, ¿no? India tiene muy pocos cristianos allí y tiene que haber, no tiene que existir el yo o lo mío ahí.
Okay, and it's interesting. I know I attended the Atlanta Shibir with the Gnani. Our Gnani, you see, this just before coming to Guru Purnima, the local regional shibirs, retreat was divided into different regions of the United States, and the southeast was part of the Florida people, and so I attended there, and I was so pleased. I was absolutely pleased that the venue was into a Unitarian church with a beautiful. They gave us the full access to all their facilities, including their church stage, where the Lord was covered, but the Gnani was placed there, and then we all had satsang, so it was beautiful. So it's opening up. It is opening up.
Dice Suda que antes que él fue al Shibir de Atlanta antes de que comience el Gnani en Phoenix, fue un lugar local original donde había un templo, y allí en ese templo, esa iglesia, que no escuché bien de qué religión era, se sintió tan complacido porque ellos compartieron su lugar, compartieron su escenario, compartieron absolutamente todo. De hecho, hasta taparon la imagen de su Lord para que estuviera la imagen del Gnani ahí. Y en esto de compartir su iglesia también lo que se puede ver es cómo se están abriendo, cómo se está abriendo a este nuevo conocimiento.
Yeah, and Damian and Cynthia will tell you that even this entire Guru Purnima that we had, this magnificent Guru Purnima and the Western Shibir that preceded it, in Phoenix, was right next to a very famous church of Saint Francis of Assisi, you see. Right there, we could walk there. And right there was the saint praying, outside in the garden, with a very beautiful prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi right there, which the first sentence of that, is so magnificent. O Lord, make me a channel of thy peace. Make me a channel of thy peace, you see. So beautiful.
Dice que cuando que en el grupo Mina y en el Sibir estaban muy cerca de una divina iglesia de San Francisco de Asís, y en el jardín había una hermosa oración que decía: por favor, Dios, hazme un canal de paz.
This is the same as This is the same as the ninth column of Dadashri. There is no difference, But the difference is he is looking up in the sky, and we are looking inside at our Lord. That's the only difference. The direction has changed.
Esto es igual que los 9 calams. Lo que cambió es que San Francisco miraba para arriba y nosotros miramos para adentro. Lo que cambió es la dirección, donde buscar al Lord.
Yeah, so this is how it is. This is the I'm searching for that very beautiful image. I will share it with you if I can see it. No, and if I I have it, but yeah, let me see if it's there. Anyway, this I can't find his image, but there was another this very beautiful artwork out in the same in the walk just next to our hotel, and just next to our hotel was this that we all saw as we took little walks outside the building, where we were staying, and that was this image, that I want to share with you. And after
Acá está buscando una imagen para compartir que estaba justo al lado del hotel, ¿no? Cuando salían a caminar ahí muy pegaditos, y esta es la imagen.
And that's the circle of peace. This is a very famous of the part of the Saint Francis of Assisi. There's a circle of peace, children playing in circle of peace, and this also represent. Now this child and this child, their hands are not connected. There is space there where you can stand there and say, this is the 5 agnas. Yeah.
Este círculo por los niños, que están bailando en el círculo de la paz. Y esto, ahí hay 2 niños que no están agarrados de la mano, ¿no? Como que está abierto para que puedas también unirte a ese círculo de paz. Pero la casualidad es que son 5 y decían, estas son las 5 agnas.
Yes. Okay, Vishuddhatma Bhagavan. In the next, we have already run out of time for our flawless vision, but we have been talking about the vision of the Lord and sharing this vision, you see, through our seed of intention. The seed of intention, it is very powerful, you see.
La semilla de la intención es lo más poderoso.
Mm-hmm.
Y estuvimos compartiendo las palabras del Lord.
And the seed of intention has come into effect through, this 28-inch Lord coming into Argentina, that is a magnificent
Sí,
event.
las semillas de la intención están trayendo este Lord a Argentina. Esa es la intención.
The Lord comes.
Eso es intención. El Lord viene.
The Lord comes and then the Gnani comes. Right then.
El Lord viene y después viene el Gnani.
Vishuddhatma Bhagavan. Highest namaskars to all of you. Thank you. Until our next meeting, huh?
Namaskar para todos y hasta la próxima reunión. Thank you very much.
Jai Sachidan to all.
Jai Sachidana.
Jai Sachidan, Carlos and Sandra and everybody, huh? And Alicia and yes, Jai Sachidan.
Jai Sachidana.
Jai Sachidana.
Sí, ¿te puedes quedar un momento?
Jai Sachidan. Jai Sachidan.
Jai Sachitana.